Welcome to another edition of Subs Lie Dubs Lie, a comprehensive anime podcast. It's your main man, Versace Vegeta, aka Jay, aka Golden Jay, and I'm joined by the one, the only, Brother D.
Yes, sir. It's your boy D. I'm happy to be here just to bring you guys one of the best podcasts in the planet. That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm repping. Yes, indeed. I am glad to be here, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. I could say one of the best in Universe 7.
Or for sure. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I know that Weiss is checking us out on GodTube. You know what I'm saying? I know they're listening, bro. I know they're tapped in.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. I already know Toei is listening to us, too.
Shit, you better believe it, man. Yeah. As much as they are constantly tuned in, Toei definitely got their eyes on this, for sure. And hopefully they passing along some messages to that boy Takao Koyama. But nevertheless,
keep him jobless. Before they say I'm holding another brother down from opportunities. But
let's just keep that man outside of Toei Animation Studios at all time. But with all that said, man, hey dog, how's your week been?
Yo, my week's been dope, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. It's been a good ass week. Just a lot of things, good things going on. You know, also been able to like catch up on a bunch of shit that I used to watch growing up.
Yeah.
So I've been watching goddamn Nana, which is like a
yeah.
It's an elite show, Joe. I don't care what nobody says. That's top 10 for real. Yeah. Like super, super, super good.
It's so slept on and it's so good.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. Like a grown ass man is me just super tapped into this, and I done rewatched this show at least like 10 times, at least 10. And every time I put it on, I'm still able to enjoy exactly how I did the first time I watched it. So, man, really in tune with that. Also, oh my god, I never thought I'd be saying this.
You in the valley with me, bro?
I'm in the valley where the girls definitely do get naked, bro. It's crazy. I'm really tapped into that, bro.
I told you it was good a few weeks back, bro.
Yeah, you did. I told you. Yeah. I was trying to front like oh man, yeah, I think it's just gassing it up just to gas it, But curiosity and being told by two people, like you telling me, and my old girl Lacey, she telling me like, yo, you better watch it. And I'm sitting here like, man, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it 4 episodes. 4 episodes turn into damn 12 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm currently on season 2, episode 4. So as soon as I finish this pod, best believe I'm gonna tap in and watch the rest.
But yo, listen, I was just watching episode 8 last night at midnight, bro. Right when it aired, I'm super tapped in as well. I get it, dog. Like this show is nuts. I mean, I'm telling y'all, listen.
It's crazy, bro.
Y'all better be glad the Subs Lie Dubs Lie is only about anime.
Yeah, bro, because I'd get a whole man. I ain't even gonna say what you guys would get if it was just. Man, listen.
Man, I can talk about P Valley all damn day.
Oh, for sure, bro. It and it's crazy. It shows not even that. It don't even have that much episodes, really, if you think about it. And you arguably get a whole season worth of pod episodes if it was up to us. Like really, but no, it's a really good ass series. And that's pretty much it.
Subs Lie Dubs Lie certified.
Oh, for sure. And unfortunately, I gotta say the bad stuff. The bad stuff is I've been trying to run this Persona 4 Golden game on my PC, and for whatever reason, it's like the PC gods, like they're just tied out telling me like, "Yo, you're not playing this shit again." Because every time
been going on?
I've been trying to run the damn game, and enemy telling me the same error 0, whatever. And I'm sitting here like, bro, why does every game in my library work except for this game?
That's
I,
hell.
I was like, man, you know what? I'll just play the regular PS2 version by
Yeah.
legal means. By
Yeah.
legal means, I'll be playing that, and I know it's not going to be the golden experience, but it's still the Persona 4, so it is what it is.
Man, that's
It sucks. Like, really, I really wanted to run that joint, especially with the mods I see on there. I really thought it was going to be hella entertaining. I was probably going to stream it, but it is what it is. You, when life gives you lemons, you gotta make that motherfucker lemonade.
I
But
feel you, dog.
that's just about it. What about you, brother Jay?
Man, I've been easing back into work, since I took that little vacay. But I've been able to maintain a really good work-life balance, honestly. I've been tapped into Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, for
Oh,
the
shit.
first time in a long time.
Good ass
Uh,
game, man.
yeah, for real, dude. For real. The fact that this game that I've been playing for the past, like, what has been out since 2016? That was,
Shit.
what, 8 years ago? 6 years? 6 years ago?
6 years, man.
Feels like 8 sometimes, bro. But 6 years ago, this game that still, I mean, the most recent DLC came out just last month. This and niggas like me are keeping this game alive.
I'm a part of the problem, bro, because no matter what, Bandai resurrects this game, it's not dead, but somehow, some way, it finds a way to get more money out of the consumer by selling DLC. And mind you, I have a PC, so I can simply just download a mod or two and
Yeah.
have all these characters that they're adding.
Oh man,
My
I would
disposal.
honestly, I really would love to play some of the mods because the mod community for
Yo,
Xenoverse 2 is huge.
they be going crazy, bro. I be sitting here like, man, how the hell? I didn't even know you could do some of these animations
Hmm.
with the way, like, I seen some of the transformation mods. I was sitting here like, damn, this shit damn near close to the anime.
They done made their own Xenoverse 3 by this point.
Oh, I'm saying, like, give them some time to cook, give them a few years or so, and just like how you see the Tenkaichi 4 mod, I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
you get a Xenoverse mod. But man, it's crazy. Xenoverse is really still kicking. Like, it's still kicking.
And
It's fresh.
it's wild because it's a game that I'm having more fun with now in 2022 than 2 years after the game came out, where, like, yeah, there was still a lot of content
Yeah,
coming, but it was like they had the defibrillator on this bitch. Like
yeah.
it would almost be close to dead a lot of times.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
hell yeah, bro.
If it wasn't for the anime coming out, it would have been not a lot to boost it.
Bro,
But somehow, yeah, like with the amount of skills, all this kind of stuff you have for your characters, I've been able to still make new builds. It's wild. I love it.
it's
Um,
crazy.
I've been playing a whole lot of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, the greatest gacha game known to fucking mankind.
Yeah.
As it ends its 7th-year anniversary, I pulled hella LRs in this anniversary, bro. Like they have a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta card, a Super Saiyan God Goku and Vegeta card. I got multiple copies of them. Hella other powerful cards, dude. It's been a blast in this game for me, and I didn't spend no money on this fucking gacha.
Yes, sir. Ha ha. Told ya. Yeah, we ain't breaking the bank for y'all.
Oh, listen, like it's because the Japanese version is 6 months ahead. I've been able to kind of know, like, okay, I need to save for certain events.
Yo,
So I had like 2,000 stones in the bank, which is like the in-game currency. I walked out of this anniversary still with like 1,200. So,
damn.
and I know a lot of people probably may not have had the same luck as I did because RNG is always
Yeah.
a big part of this, but yeah, it definitely RNG Jesus was kind to me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Outside of games, yeah, definitely was waiting for this week's P Valley. I so I've been okay. I'm not by any means like the biggest like reality TV
Oh,
fan, right?
You and
But
me
I've been watching this damn show, Fuckboy Island or F Boy Island on
both.
HBO Max. This show is hilarious, dog.
Oh.
It's hilarious. Like just the amount of antics that go on. Then the girls trying to figure out if the dudes they're going after are nice guy or a F boy, but all this kind of
Mhm.
BS. Dude. It's so dramatic. It's such a high school little show, but like at the same time, dude, it's easy to turn my brain off in a world where we're dealing with.
Oh hell yeah,
You can't even go outside
bro!
safe no more, dog.
Shit,
Like
crazy. You can't do that.
so,
Anybody like traveling, frequently traveling, and just frequently
bro.
just in them streets, yo, like, more power to you. I can't, bro.
I
I
can't, bro.
refuse.
I'm already like pretty fine with entertaining myself at the house.
Well, hell yeah.
Uh but yeah, it's easier to do so when you have nonsense TV like
Mm.
that. Um and of course get into these damn movies, bro. Because I
Mm-hmm.
will say when it comes to this revival era of Dragon Ball
Yeah,
that we've had that started since 2013, we've had now 4 movies come out, but we've only been able to see in the States these first 3.
yeah.
These first 2 that came out, I haven't watched in like maybe 3-4 years.
Mm.
I remember these movies
Oh, yeah.
easily. Like I could tell you everything that happens in them, but I hadn't watched them in a long time. So this little revisit has been it's been awakening for me. Just to kind of revisit what I really enjoy about them, and then be able to see the movies for what they are too.
But yeah, true.
So I'm really excited to as we go in and visit this week the Dragon Ball revival era as we go into Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F this week, man. So you ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right, dog. Let's go ahead and jump in as we start off with the 2013 release Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, also known as in Japan Dragon Ball Z God and God.
39 years ago, did you not prophesy that in 39 years' time an arch rival worthy of me would appear?
Did I say that?
Yes, that's what you said.
I guess I did.
Hear that? The seer's prophecy confirms my premonition. An arch rival of mine will reveal himself soon, and he shall be a Super Saiyan God!
This all sounds rather far-fetched to me. It's difficult to imagine one such as yourself even having an arch-rival, Lord Beerus.
Well, even if the Oracle Fish exaggerated the strength of this particular foe, a fascinating adversary is due to emerge, and that's why I prematurely woke from my slumber.
Ah, I see. That's one mystery solved.
So here we have Beerus, the god of destruction, who's woken early after a 39-year slumber. And after having had a dream about the Super Saiyan God, he sets out in search of this mysterious Saiyan. He visits King Kai and eventually ends up on Earth. Goku and his friends soon find out that they're powerless to stop the irritable Beerus. Can our heroes find the Super Saiyan God before Beerus destroys the Earth? D, tell me, Doc, when it comes to like this thing, let's imagine it's 2013 for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we hadn't had any new Dragon Ball content outside of, the 2008 anime special, Son Goku and his friends return. We hadn't really had any new Dragon Ball on a major basis since 96 from Japan and since 2003 in the States. So about a good 10 years where you're just watching stuff you already are aware of. What was it like for you when Toei Animation announced back in 2012, hey, we're dropping a new project?
Bro, I ain't even gonna lie. I jumped like I won the damn lotto, bro. I was so geeked. Like, bro, I didn't even expect it. Y'all gotta understand. It was rough. It was rough. Especially, bro, think about it like this. the last content you seen in the States was Dragon Ball Evolution. If you even stomach,
Oh,
if you stomach that move, I did for banter.
yeah, we had to.
Man, bro,
We didn't have to, but we did.
I did for the sake of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, it's still like the worst movie. It's still the worst movie.
Yeah, no. And I listen, just to clear the air, y'all. I know we said we're going over all the Dragon Ball movies this season, but animated works only, all right?
We will never,
We would never.
touch. We will never touch Dragon Ball Evolution ever.
Not on your life.
Please.
Now, if Meals wants to cut the check, then I mean, if that's what OG wants, we'll do it. But until then,
you got that back, yo. We could talk, but no. So think of this, like, yo, as a Dragon Ball fan, that's all you've seen. Literally, that's the only thing that's been presented to you. Some false fabricated lie called Dragon Ball. Yo, they announced this Battle Gods joint, bro. I was jumping for joy, bro. I was super hyped. How couldn't you not be hyped as a fan? It's Dragon Ball. You jumping for joy. So I was just, bro. I was hyped. I was literally just scrolling on the interwebs, just searching every time. What new info possibly? What new info? Literally, that's all. That was all my focus. When is this coming out?
Yeah.
When is this coming out? When is this coming out? When is it coming out in the States? That was my biggest concern. I'm like, yo, you can't have this big movie just out of nowhere and not drop it in the States. So when is it coming out in the States?
And that's how it was for me, man. I know it was the summer of 2012, and just one day they just randomly announced, "Hey, so we coming back with the heat," and it's just like, "Yo, wait, Dragon Ball Z's back, huh?"
Literally, like, what? I thought they killed this.
I mean, it's like, you know, because at this point we're getting a new game from Bandai Namco every year, right? So at the very least, we knew that the brand in and of itself was still strong. If you were paying attention to Japan, you know, Dragon Ball Heroes had really just started really doing this thing for, you know, a little bit before this. So it's like, okay, all right, I can see how this stuff is. You know, we've got new kids in Japan being introduced to it, and hell, was Kai already out by this point?
It should have been.
Let me check. Actually, yeah. Dragon Ball Kai came out a good 3 years before this announcement. So, at the very least, there's a whole new generation of Japanese kids who have been introduced to Dragon Ball Z, right? And those of us who grew up with it, yeah, like to have gotten that straight up announcement from Toei Animation saying, like, we've got this whole new movie we're giving y'all. I was hyped, bro. I was ready. I was like, listen, whatever they do, as a big fan of Dragon Ball games, I was like, I'm ready for whatever new games come out from this. I'm ready for whatever happens. Hell, maybe they might give us a new show. Who knows, right? But I was really, really excited, man. And I know we are not alone in that excitement,
bro. You had to be hyped, bro. Our last piece of Dragon Ball content. You know what was our last piece of Dragon Ball content? Ultimate Tenkaichi.
Oh,
Ultimate Tenkaichi.
Oh man, the rock paper scissors game.
Yes, the John Kenpo Dragon Ball game that was legitimately sold to you as a Tenkaichi game. What a scam!
Big scam, bro.
What a scam! But
they had me on that too.
At least it looked good.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, but this is prior to Xenoverse where you can create a character. So I was like, oh, I can create a Saiyan bet. Count me in. But God,
slide, bro.
Yeah, somebody lied, bro.
They were lying, bro. They were lying.
But yeah, this was definitely the light at the end of the tunnel of their like the well was sort of getting tapped by this point,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because even like the games weren't as strong as what we had gotten since like Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Let's be real. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
let's be real.
Burst Limit was okay. Raging Blast was okay. But these games felt like remakes
Yeah, it was just the same
of
shit.
the generation that kind of got us all hyped into playing Dragon Ball games in the States. So,
No, seriously, you're right. It was
yeah.
literally just the same shit. Burst Limit just felt like Budokai 1. A
Yeah.
worse, a somehow worse version of Budokai 1. Raging Blast 2 just felt like a generic Tenkaichi 1. And then Tenkaichi, not even Tenkaichi. I'm not even given the grace of saying it was Tenkaichi 2.
Just one.
It was just Tenkaichi 1. What a better battle system. I'll give it that. The combat was
That's
good.
about it.
Like, you're not really like me as a Dragon Ball fan. Like, I'm not only playing Dragon Ball Z games for the combat. Like, I want to see what you can do with it. And if you're gonna bare bones it like that, then no, no.
Yeah.
We were starving. We were starving.
Yeah, we were. And like, but like, it's good that we bring these topics up because this is what it was like for us in 2012, 2013. That's all there was. That was all the new shit we were getting. So it's like, yeah, you know, the games may not be the same as new content in the anime sense, but that's about all they were feeding us, really. Now, when it comes to this movie, we're talking about, like I said, we're now here almost like 10 years since the release of this, since it came out in Japan on March 30th, 2013, and in the States on August the 5th through the 7th, and August the 9th in the theatrical release, 2014, and released on Blu-ray October the 7th, 2014. So pretty wild the gap of time before, you know, we finally got to see this. And I remember how it was too, because I remember we got the synopsis online. You know, everybody was able to read it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, this is pretty cool. We got Super Saiyan God and all this stuff, but like, what does it look like?
I'm like, what the fuck is a Super Saiyan God? Like,
Yeah.
the fuck? Is he going to is somebody dying in this movie? Like, is somebody getting resurrected? That's the first thing that came up to my head. Like, yo, somebody getting resurrected and being brought back as a god or something? Like, I don't know. But you didn't really get that much. Like, you just saw this, you read the synopsis, and from there you just assumed.
And then, like, you know, all we could really go off of was whatever pictures that they had in Weekly Shonen Jump at the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, they would show like these still animations of Beerus and Whis and Goku with his hair red or whatever. But I remember it was just kind of like, okay, well, I mean, looked like Kaioken to me. You know,
like literally, like all we brought back or some shit. Like, shit, that's about it. Like, I didn't know. I was like, who the hell is this sleek, slim ass Goku?
Yeah,
like. Did he get on did the drugs right now? Like yo, the last time you seen Goku, he was
tweaking, man.
Like, yeah, Goku got off the gas, like literally, like he's slim as hell. What's going on with Goku?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Just that decision that they went with to make him look, you know, less sturdy, I guess. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like muscular. He was just kind of like a martial art, like Bruce Lee form. You know what I mean? Like,
he was built like he really just he focused on nothing but martial arts and no other type of training, just strictly martial arts. So
which is just completely, you know, departure from how the hulking forms in Dragon Ball Z had been presented. But I guess even, you know, when you consider the fact that when we're first introduced to the Super Saiyan, it's like, oh, these other forms make you bigger, but the one that's the perfected version makes you slimmer, Super Saiyan 2, right? So I guess they were going for that sort of idea. Yeah. But we do have plenty to go off of with what we do know on original concepts and whatnot. But before we get into that, it was really interesting just how Toei just did announce that back in 2012, telling us basically that there would be a production of the Dragon Ball franchise's first theatrical movie in 17 years, and that unlike the franchise's previous movies, they told us right off the bat it would be a singular film not associated with any single seasonal event hosted by Toei or tied with any ongoing television series. They went on to say, and this is the most interesting part, it would be set between the animation series Z and GT, or in other words, from the blank decade between the end of the battle with Majin Buu in chapter 517 of the manga and chapter 518, and calling it a part of the official history of Dragon Ball. So they made sure to tell us, yo, hey, because again, canon is only a term that we really care about here in the States.
Don't give a shit about that.
But if Toei is going to go out of their way to say that this movie is a part of the official history, they were saying this is not like those 13 movies that we did in the 90s. Like, this is the next adventure.
No Koyama. no Koyama. It's already a W from there. But
and, honestly, yeah, because as far as like the director goes for this movie, they had Masahiro Hosoda, who was the episode director for One Piece and for Hunter x Hunter, as well as an assistant director for the classic Fist of the North Star movie. So yeah, we got one of the OGs in the anime game.
John Cena's favorite anime movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, you know what I mean? If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us, dog. It was really interesting back when they announced more about this movie, is that they had a comment by Akira Toriyama saying that the adaptation would mark for the first time that he would be so deeply involved in a film production. In this case, as early as the screenwriting stages. Toriyama said that the film would retain the atmosphere of the original series while adding small amounts of modern flavor. So that's another sign that it's like, nah, Dragon Ball is back. This is not just like Toei doing their shit and just saying like, hey, we're bringing back our franchise. This is Akira Toriyama, the daddy himself.
Yeah, he's like, I'm back, like Jordan in '94. Like, I'm back, straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really dope how the OG decided to say, like, nah, man, look, I left the streets empty a little too long, but tell them we back up.
They dirty up my name with this Dragon Ball Evolution crap. Like, yo, let's get this right back.
And honestly, it was back in a huge way. It did a worldwide box office of 51 million, and it was also the first ever Japanese film to be screened in IMAX digital theaters, streaming at all 16 IMAX digital theater locations across Japan. So, like, that's wild to think that all the movies that you could ever go see at IMAX in Japan before this movie were all foreign films. Like, none of them were Japanese films.
That's crazy.
Then Battle of Gods comes out and they're like, nah, every IMAX theater in the whole country is getting Dragon Ball.
They did the damn right thing.
Yeah. They made sure that it was going to come back with a huge impact, and it did. I really like what this movie introduces, man. Not just Beerus and Whis, but, this sort of return of all the characters for Bulma's birthday.
So cute.
Yeah, it's really fun in how it's a reunion, more so to the fans rather than it being a reunion of the characters themselves. Like, we don't get this sort of sense of like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever, like we did in the end of Z. Right?
Toriyama loves to fall back on that shit.
Yeah.
He really does.
So seeing that they, decided they were going to come back for Bulma's birthday rather than it being like, hey, we haven't seen each other in forever. I like that was a pretty fresh take on it, and it made sense in the idea that it kept Bulma as a central part of the plot.
Because she is a very, very influential character to the series, so might as well. Your first movie where you really, really are involved with this shit, you might as well bring her in this.
It's actually really interesting because the original version of the story would have placed the characters at Krillin and 18's wedding. Yusuke Watanabe, who is the other scriptwriter for this movie, aside from Kira Toriyama, was quoted by saying, "I thought I'd do a story where the enemy appears at a party on Earth when Goku's not there, and there'd be big trouble. In the original plot, I wrote Krillin and 18's wedding, but in the story that came back from Toriyama, it had been changed to Bulma's birthday party. I think with regards to Krillin and 18's wedding, it's probably something that he wants all the fans to imagine for themselves."
That's actually good information. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. There was also like a subplot already of thieves going after the Dragon Balls, but Toriyama suggested on bringing back a Pilaf's game, which just goes to show you, like, he was really like, okay, nah, like, I want to make it feel like Dragon Ball as a whole is back.
Like, you know that quote by Toriyama, like the way how he defines Goku and things. Like, this movie felt like, he was really trying to establish who his characters are. Like, no matter what you've seen from the previous movies and the anime, the way how they adapted his work, like, he's really setting the foundation of how his characters are supposed to act. His true the way how he has his favorites, the way how he, a lot of people like say, oh, he forgets about things, he forgets this, he forgets that. Well, motherfucker, he didn't forget about Pilaf in the game. So he was here. He gave us some good banter out the movie. So
he did, and it's also one of those things where you can tell he really just wanted the movie to be lighthearted, because even though it's focused around a god of destruction, like, don't nothing get destroyed. Yeah. And one could say that is on purpose, because this is less of a movie of a struggle of like good versus evil, and more of like a friendship movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like in the end, it's just a big training session for Goku.
Yeah, it's literally keeping the theme of what Super is about, like surpassing your limits, literally. And you wanted a movie to establish, like, hey, Goku ain't done yet just because he transformed into Super Saiyan 3. Like, no, there's more shit for him to do. Like, he's still there. He still has to train, and there's still threats out there. Like, you have that common theme of Dragon. I think a lot of people had the assumption, like, because the Earth is peaceful now that Boo's dead, like, no, there's nothing that can happen to the Earth anymore because Goku's on the planet now. Yeah. Like, no, there's a threat just waiting, and there's multiple things that can happen. So you got to stay prepared. And
even that, they keep sort of vague with the mention, like, hey, there is 12 universes. There's never like the idea of like, oh, there's impending doom. It's just like, there's way more out there.
That was so dope. I think that was like, me personally hearing that line, that was like my favorite line.
Same here.
Bro, I was like, bro, do you know what you can do with 12 universes? And this is prior to like Super. So obviously I'm thinking like, shit, for the next movie, you should have a tournament with these niggas. Yeah. Like, literally, if there's 12 universes, and there's another set of people just like you. And that was just giving pure hell to the strongest fighter on the earth. Then, you could do a lot with this shit. So it was so cool. It was so good. That was really a dope ass mention. I like that line. It set up a lot.
It did. And, like you said, we had no idea that even the anime was on the way. So them just sort of like introducing that through Beerus's, throwaway line is like, it kind of had you like, ooh, what's coming, boy? You know?
He's like flat out, I'm not even using my whole strength. I was like, oh shit. Well,
Yeah.
we're really fucked up in
Yeah,
terms of the Dragon Ball world, but we're eating outside. It's like, yo, you could literally work with a lot. As a fan, in my head, I was like, yo, there's no way this is like a one-off, one last final hoorah. I was like, no way you add so much.
Yeah.
Say, yo, we're done. Like, no,
Exactly.
you're not going to leave this. Literally, I was like, yo, you're not leaving this to my imagination.
That was sort of the confirmation of like, yeah, we came back with this movie, but who said we was done?
Like, literally, I was like, yo, there's so much you can work with. You're not about to have me on my Toyotaro shit and make like I'm not 15, I'm not 12 anymore where I'm gonna make my own little fan fiction for Dragon Ball. You better come do this shit yourself. Literally. So it was really good to see that they actually continued this joint. It's super dope.
It was just a fun movie all around, man. Like, and even to the point of like it being sort of like tongue in cheek funny too, right?
Literally.
There's a lot of little winks and nods in this movie to other shit. One of my favorite. There's a scene where Krillin is introduced in the movie, and we see that he's a police officer now, right?
Oh,
and he busts up some thieves, and in that moment, Bulma gives him a call. And when Bulma gives him his call, his phone rings.
ブルマさんだ。はい、クリリンです。まずいですよ、ブルマさん。勤務中なんで。
And when it rings, it's like, oh, that's hilarious because Krillin's Japanese voice actress is the voice actress for Luffy.
Yes.
His English voice actor is the voice actor for Usopp. Yes, so it's a joke that fits no matter which version of the movie you're watching. Because this is like, oh, yeah, like that connection to One Piece right there. Yeah. So I really, really dug that. Hey, yo, it's Jay. So guess what? I kind of jumped the gun on this reference here. That scene takes place in Resurrection F and not Battle of Gods. I was just a little excited to mention a reference to one movie when I should have brought it up much later in the episode. These two movies kind of bleed together for me, so I apologize for that, but I at least wanted to make sure y'all had that correction here. The One Piece reference happens in Resurrection F instead. Back to the show. Just like little shit like that was just made it feel like, yeah, nah, Toriyama's back.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Ball's back.
He had so much time. He put himself in the chamber. He's back. Like he's super back.
Really, really cool. Just like all the original ideas that got left off the table for this movie too. Originally, Beerus had a lizard-like form, but it was Toriyama's idea that it became an Egyptian-style cat character. Specifically, it's a Cornish Rex. That's what it's called. It's a 14-year-old cat that Beerus keeps with it. And sorry, that Beerus is based off of, and that Akira Toriyama was keeping at that point in time. So I guess like such an old cat would seem godlike to him at that point.
Yeah, right? He's hilarious. He's hilarious for that, really.
Yeah. Their names obviously even being like puns themselves. Beerus, so there's multiple sources here, right? Yusuke Watanabe, the other scriptwriter, said that he tweaked the word virus to give him the name Beerus, right? Wow. But it was Toriyama who named Whis, right? According to Toriyama, he's quoted by saying, the name Beerus I used as is from the story outline, which he was given by Watanabe, right? He goes, oh, anyway, it's apparently a name that was taken from virus, but I mistakenly thought it came from beer.
I thought so.
And I gave his attendant the name Whis, which I took from whiskey.
Yo, Toriyama's a funny guy, bro.
The punny ass nigga he is was like, okay, beer is beer, whiskey, bet. Like he's just like, no, like we're gonna continue with we're gonna make the pun work.
Bro, I can imagine just being around Toriyama and he's just hitting you with nothing but dad jokes. Literally,
hell yeah.
literally, he just gives me that vibes. What a good dude.
What a hilarious ass dude, man.
Hell yeah.
But this movie was really, really huge. So much to the fact that it even got like a nonprofit organization grant for the movie, as considered as like a part of like industry international endeavors for Japanese filmmakers.
That's dope.
It was like one of only 4 films that year awarded such a grant. So just like really huge.
Some really good shit.
As far as like how they treated this movie when it came back. And lastly, when it comes to like just like folks who worked on the movie, the most interesting cast decision I had found out while looking up stuff for this movie, and I didn't realize this until earlier today. Whis' Japanese voice actor, Masakazu Morihita, that's the same voice actor as Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach.
Really, the range. Look at
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
range,
saying.
bro.
He
Because
don't sound
what?
nothing like
He
him.
don't sound nothing like this guy. Like what? The range. I'll give it to you, bro.
Wild, right? Yeah, like I never would have guessed that it's Ichigo's voice actor from Bleach, but also did the same the same voice actor previously played Tarble in the Yo Son Goku and his friends return special. So I didn't know that. It's pretty wild seeing how they went back to the well with using this voice actor, because he's definitely very talented. All 3 of those characters, Tarble, Whis, and Ichigo, sound nothing alike.
Sound like. And isn't he the voice of I remember the Ichigo's voice actor? Isn't he the voice? Ah, yeah, Marco from One Piece.
Oh, damn. Okay. See,
I
again,
remember that.
another character that's nothing like
He got the range.
any of his others. Yeah.
He got the
Yeah.
range.
Huge range, man. But, all in all, I really dig this movie. Super Saiyan God Goku versus Beerus. Really, really cool fight. Like, one of the dopest action scenes in Dragon Ball ever.
Bro, that shit go crazy. You won't destroy my it's so funny because even a dub, I didn't mind it. And you know me. If I've ever established anything, like I just don't like dub. But
Yeah.
like even I did not mind that scene. I didn't. I did mind that them like trying to doing their own cover of the song, the Japanese song, and I didn't like that. They could have kept it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like he sung good. Like, he sounded good. It's just I preferred.
Wasn't it Flo that did the song? The same folks that do the Code Geass opening?
Yeah. I don't even know why he's singing in English. Like,
Yeah, it's like, yo, we could have kept it the way it was.
keep it the way it was.
I feel that. Aside from that, though, yeah, this movie was super fun. Really great return to form for Dragon Ball Z,
Yes, sir.
and eventually led to its own sequel that came out in April 2015, titled Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, also known as in Japan Dragon Ball Z Revival of F.
Dope ass name.
So here we have the Earth finally at peace, but out in space, we have the remnants of Frieza's forces arriving to revive him with the Dragon Balls. And so the worst wish in the history of the universe is granted. Frieza, plotting his revenge against the Saiyans, is revived at last. Man, when they announced that we were getting another movie, I was so hyped. Because this was one of those where I was like, yo, now we're going on with a franchise again. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to give us one other movie, but to deliver on the promise at the end of the last one where it's like, hey, there's more out there. And the fact that they didn't even give us something from another universe. They said, nah. We got problems here in this one that we still can deal with. I was like, okay, nah, we're really going somewhere with this.
Yeah, it's super dope.
I know when they finally announced that, we were going to get Frieza as the villain for the movie, I was like, oh, yo. That's not. I never would have guessed that. To be real with you, what were your thoughts whenever they first dropped it on us?
But when I heard Frieza, I was of the assumption like, yo, this is gonna be dope because not only have you alluded to the fact in the other movie, the Battle of Gods movie, like, yo, Vegeta got some shit off his sleeves, like he has some potential. He could do shit. So I'm assuming like, yo,
did bring him up. That's true.
Like, yo, flat out, if Frieza's coming back, Goku don't got no malice with this nigga. No, like Goku done did what he had to do. And I'm like, if anything, you could take advantage of the fact that, yo, Vegeta ain't do shit really to a main villain. Have him kill this nigga. So I was literally there. I was like, yo, like, is Toriyama gonna do the do? Like, I was like, because you know how we are in the States. I don't know how it is in Japan, but I'm like, in the States, I already know people's main concern or main complaint really is that Vegeta doesn't get to do the cool shit that Goku does at the end, which is really just flat out merciful villain.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? You bring him back Frieza, Vegeta's gonna get his kill. Like, you killed me on a Namek arc, let me kill you on my planet now.
That's exactly how I felt because I remember that little interview that they dropped that basically Toriyama said early on before they announced this movie, if I come back with another movie, I want there to be a stronger focus on Vegeta. So I was like, okay, so this is going to be a movie where Vegeta finally gets his shine. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting that 1 + 1 = 2 because there's the Vegeta's going to get more of a focus in the next movie. Then there's the announcement, the next villain is Frieza. And it's just like, oh, okay. I see where this is going to take us. And we'll get to how I felt after watching the movie later. But while we're talking about the movie as a whole, it was released in Japan on April the 18th, 2015. Now, this is really interesting. It's a great time to bring up, D.
Yes,
because 10 days later, the Dragon Ball Super anime was announced. 3 months later, the Dragon Ball Super anime airs.
Ain't that something? How interesting.
How very interesting. It's almost like they were working on this movie, and somewhere along the way, Toei said, hey, yo, fuck it. Why don't we just make a whole new show? And not only we're going to make a whole new show, it don't matter what we're going to do with the show in the long run. Let's just start it off with the last movie in this movie.
They got away with murder. Murder.
Bro, it was bad how they did us, man.
They know what they were doing, man. They know it. I'll give you my opinion about this movie.
Yeah, we can save it for after we cover all that there is to know about the movie. But
this is very telling. This is
very telling, and I want y'all to keep note of that. Just make note of it. There's a reason why I wanted to bring up the fact that 10 days later we got the announcement for Dragon Ball Super. But I digress for now. It did eventually come out in the United States in theaters in August the 4th through 15th of 2015, and eventually on Blu-ray on October the 20th, 2015. Did you have a chance to see this one in theaters?
No, I did not.
Oh, damn, man. I did. I needed to know. I needed to see it for myself.
I could have. It's funny because I could have. I just chose not to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know what my mindset was at that time period. And I know I could have. But, it is what it is. It is.
I know I was I was really excited because this was the first time I would ever get to see a Dragon Ball Z film in theaters,
Mhm.
and it was just really cool to see the return of all these characters, getting to see all these characters get their shine, right? Um,
Yes.
it was a really cool experience getting to see it. So yeah, I was in house during that original theatrical release. This movie went on to make an additional 13 million more with a worldwide box office of
Crazy.
64.8 million. So I
Big
mean,
hits.
wild to think that they hadn't even made all the money back for this movie, and they're already saying the show's coming back, baby.
Yo, like flat out. Whatever you think of this movie, we keeping it rolling with a full show. You're gonna love it.
And so much to the point that, much like how Battle of Gods was a record breaker, Resurrection F was the first Japanese film to be screened in IMAX 3D and received screenings at 4DX theaters. So again, another first for like Japanese theater experiences with a Dragon Ball movie. I know I myself have gotten tickets to see Super in both 4DX and IMAX for the superhero movie. So I'm excited to be able to see it and how they were able to see it for Resurrection F, because I've only ever seen Dragon Ball Z films in like a regular theater experience until now.
Should be a blast.
Oh man, I'm excited, bro. Like I can't even begin to imagine what seeing a Dragon Ball movie in 4DX is like.
Bro,
But please believe in a few weeks, I'm gonna let y'all know.
shit gonna be beautiful. It's beautiful.
For real, dude. So when it comes to this movie, it's really interesting because what we have here is that even though Toriyama came up with the story of Battle of Gods, the script was written for the most part by Yusuke Watanabe, right? However, this was the first time that Toriyama wrote the whole screenplay for a movie. Toriyama originally had the idea to bring Frieza back while attending a concert by the metal band Maximum the Hormone,
Bro.
the guys who sang the
Bro.
Death Note theme song.
They're so good. They're so good. And it's so funny. If that was his idea, he's a funny man. Because there was an AMV for that song.
Yes.
And I watched that shit religiously back then. I would have never thought that we'd have got a movie because this man just tuned in and heard them.
Exactly. Because back in 08, they came out with a song called F. It's the song that plays whenever Frieza breaks out of his chamber later in the movie.
That shit goes hard. And the AMV is so funny because it's nothing like it shows you Dragon Ball, but then it's literally like just history, like pieces of history, just all sorts of shit. I gotta show it to somebody. I'll show it to you eventually. Like it's so dope, weird but dope.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, man. And lastly, Hayashida also admitted that the team gave the film a fast pace by focusing on fight scenes for the American audience, which they believe may have caused some shortcomings on the dramatic level. What do you think about that?
It's okay.
I mean, so personally, and again, this is before we go into the deeper thoughts.
Yeah.
This is a quick aside. I find the whole part where the Earth's warriors are fighting against Frieza's army, that's the best part of the movie to me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. It is.
So like if they felt like they were focusing on fight scenes too much, the best fight scenes in the movie that y'all focused on with the most time, that was the best part of the movie for your boy. So
damn.
I don't know. Like,
Damn.
I don't really agree in the sense that like it caused some shortcomings on the dramatic level. I think I can agree in the sense that this is between the two, and actually out of the 3 new Dragon Ball movies that we've been able to see here in the States that have come out since the original 13. I feel personally this is the one that feels the most like one of the original 13. Because it follows a lot of the same format. Like, oh no, a threat has arrived to Earth. How will Goku and his friends deal with this threat?
True. It does.
Right? And at least with Beerus, he comes like around because he's just woke up, and it's just like he's not even coming to destroy Earth. He's just looking for the Super Saiyan God. Hijinks ensue, right?
Nigga is just bored.
Yes. Whereas with this one, it literally like Cooler's Revenge in this movie, almost the same shit.
Oh God.
Almost the same shit.
Oh God.
I mean, in the, if we're pulling strings and saying like, oh, the loosest part of the plot of this villain shows up on Earth, him and his goons gotta fight the Dragon Ball Z warriors, then Goku gotta fight him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the same kind of thing. I'm not saying that as like to downplay the film. It's just it does follow that same sort of format.
It do. It's not like I don't even want to like say like it follows that same ilk. Like threat arrive.
Yeah.
Where's the world's strongest guy to help us?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll agree with Hayashida on that part, but I don't know. I feel like some of the fight scenes did add to it. Now, the most interesting part of my research on this movie this week, this is the only movie that's got multiple versions of it that exist.
That's crazy.
Were you aware of that?
No.
So check this. There's an extended version of the film with new scenes added that aired in Japan on August 27th, 2016. It's a part of like the weekly Dragon Ball Super airings. It's Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, the Future Trunks Special Edition, right? It got huge ratings. It got a 9.2 household rating over in Japan. But what it adds is in the beginning, there's a short section where you see Future Trunks in the Capsule Corp rundown building, and he pulls out this book that's called The Legend of Dragon Ball. And when he reads it, there's like newly animated scenes of the Namek saga where he's narrating Goku's fight with Frieza.
I think I gave it a glimpse.
Okay, yeah. That one's pretty cool. It doesn't nothing else in the movie is changed other than the fact that like if you ever do find like a way to watch this, there's going to be several commercial cuts because like it was aired on TV, right? Which is the only Dragon Ball Z movie to have been aired on TV like this, and I'll get into what I think about that later. But there is also a fan edit of this movie made by Anime AJ. Are you familiar with him? He's
yes, I am.
Yeah. He's a really huge resource of knowledge when it comes to animation on Dragon Ball and other Toei series as well. But basically, he came out with what's called the Super Cut that adds in scenes from episodes 15 through 27 of Dragon Ball Super. It adds in further context to events like Vegeta's training on Beerus' planet before he's joined by Goku. And it adds a little bit more fight scenes in the middle of the movie between the Earth Warriors of Frieza's army. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have. It was a godsend. Yo, again, he's the man.
Dude, it makes the movie like 2 hours long. But
it's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not gonna go straight into it, but it needed it. It needed it.
Yeah, because there's a lot that's just not. The beginning of the movie is the beginning of the movie, but I really appreciate the supercut. And for those that ever get a chance to watch it, stick through the end of the credits. It's a pretty cool like Marvel like thing that they did in the post credits for it. So I really appreciate the supercut. Shouts out Anime AJ. If you ever hear this, dog, we really appreciate you. Lastly, really, this is also the only Dragon Ball Z movie where the director and the animator are the same person, Tadayoshi Yamamuro. Just interesting choice.
Yeah, it is.
Considering he's the guy who kind of took over from Minoru Maeda back in the day. I can see how him as a director would have wanted to like up the ante on a lot of the choreography for the fights, which he definitely did, especially with Goku and Frieza's fight, while still sort of working within the original format of Dragon Ball Z. It does feel like it's on a little bit more of an epic scale. Like it felt like everything mattered.
Yeah, the stakes are very high as opposed to like, and it's funny because you just had a movie prior to this with a guy who's literally the god of destruction. So for this guy, Frieza to come in, and you already know what Frieza's about, so it works. It works. It's all believable too within the movie. So
it is
super works.
And the fact that we got some new forms with Super Saiyan Blue and Golden Frieza.
Which I'm gonna say something about that. I mean, at the end, because it's very funny.
All right. Well, honestly, with this movie, it's a fun watch, right? It's the one out of the three that I've seen the least. The three since, Dragon Ball Z has come back, or Dragon Ball as a whole has come back. It is the one I've watched before this week. I've maybe watched 3 times, and that's about it.
It's a movie, all right. It's a movie that don't feel like a movie.
It don't.
It feel like an OVA special if you want to keep it real. Like, this is not. It ain't movie material. I'm being very honest here. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it. It just, out of the 3 that we've seen so far in the States, this one feels like this is like straight, after Super ends.
Yeah.
Or like this is like in the middle of Super, you get a 1 hour special or some shit like that.
Agreed.
This is some shit that you just get to enjoy. This is something that you probably have at a Toei anime fair. Like dead ass.
Yeah.
Like, and it's hilarious because this is a movie nonetheless. And it was an idea by Toriyama. And again, if you would have told me Koyama made this joint, I'd have believed you.
Yeah, I would have believed you too.
And you already know our opinions of Koyama. So again, it's like, was there any effort to make this movie like feel more of a grand scale compared to its, the prior movie?
You're raising a great question, D. You're raising a great question, and I think it's about time we talked about it.
Yeah.
So, my boy, we've got these 2 movies, Battle of Gods. They come right strong out the gate, right? They let us know Dragon Ball Z is back. Then they give us Resurrection Frieza. Now, we know along the way it's going to be a movie where there's focus on Vegeta. We know along the way that there's going to be a movie that's about Frieza as the villain. Mm-hmm. And somewhere along the way, Toei says, hey, so before y'all drop this, I just want to let y'all know we making a show. Like I said earlier, the anime was announced 10 days after the Japanese release of this movie. The anime comes out 3 months later.
Interesting.
Almost like it's a good idea to make sure that while things happen in this movie, nothing happens in Resurrection F compared to Battle of Gods, which is setting up everything.
Yep. It's it's one of those I got you movies. Like, hey, we gave you some shit for you to eat, and then we're gonna do our best to do an animation on it as a weekly series. Like, yeah, you got this, you got Super, and like when I heard Super, I was like, oh, cool, Super is coming out, and we're getting new Dragon Ball. I'm thinking they not even gonna touch this shit because why the hell would you need to touch this part of the where you already did a movie about it? Why do we need Battle of Gods or Resurrection of F? Nope. You got that, and it lessered my opinion of Resurrection of F because this movie already is weak. It's decent, but weak. And if you tell me like this was your idea, like okay, well if it's weak, we'll rewrite it and give you our own version of it. Yeah, it's like a slap in the face. Like it really is a slap in the face. It feels like a slap in the face.
I want to tell you a story, D. I want to tell you a quick little story. Let's go through the history of Jay's life. Okay.
Gotcha.
So it's August 2015. Right? Mid-20s, Jay is going through a bit of a bad breakup. But the light at the end of the tunnel is this movie he's avoided all the spoilers for called Resurrection F. It's coming out like a week after that breakup is taking place, right? So he goes to see this movie. He knows. Let's focus on Vegeta. He knows Frieza's back. Jay is a big Vegeta fan. I am a big Vegeta fan. I'm Versace Vegeta for a reason.
Like, come on.
I go into this movie, and the events take place. We get Goku, he turns blue. Frieza, he goes gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, shit. Damn. But Frieza has his man down for the count, dog. He was whooping Goku's overconfident ass.
I was mad.
What I did appreciate was that Whis did kind of set it up. He said, hey, dog, you full of openings. He kept himself wide open in this movie.
He did.
So then my boy Vegeta step in. And I'm thinking, okay, they're telling Frieza, hey, dog, oh, yeah, you just showed up as soon as you got that form, huh? You must be a little weak, huh? Yeah, you wasn't really thinking. You just started training for the first time. You don't even really know what to do. So I'm thinking, okay, this boy Vegeta, even in like Super Saiyan 2, could probably rock him right now, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like
my boy goes blue.
I know you was hyped like
I was like, let's fucking go. God mode Vegeta? Okay. Even with Goku Vegeta? Let's go. And Vegeta pieces him up for like all of like 30 seconds, bro. And Frieza he knocks to the ground and he's on his knees, bro. He's on his hands and knees and he's back in his white base form. And I was like, this is it. This is it. One big bang attack later and it's over, baby. And this nigga just has his hand stretched out to him. And I'm like, he got his hand just kind of there, just a little too long, don't he? And Frieza's getting pissed off and he's going crazy. He's going mad. And then all of a sudden, this nigga pulls a Namek on Earth and just blows the whole shit up.
What a god. What a man.
Now, I can appreciate the pettiness.
The desperation.
It's not out of Frieza's repertoire to blow up a planet when he pissed.
He's like that. Every character does that. Every character in this damn show. It's so funny that Vegeta happened to Vegeta. Vegeta, when he was super pissed, literally he's like, screw this, I'm gonna blow this whole planet up with a Gallic gun. So for Frieza to pull that, I was like, sweet. But where are we going with this?
Then this man, Whis, with all the survivors in a little space bubble, tells him, say, dog, Goku, you should have took this shit serious. Because this is what happens when you don't take shit serious. And then proceeds to say, all right, so I can reverse shit like 3 minutes back.
Deus Ex Machina.
And I was like, no. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me, man. Come on, bro. We go back to the scene with Vegeta hand out to Frieza. Frieza about to get pissed off. And Goku just comes in, Frieza! With a Kamehameha from hell. And just blast this nigga straight to shit, bro. Goku finally gets a kill from Frieza. And you know how much joy I got from that? None.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
None.
Oh, but the spirit, the spirit of Koyama lives.
I left that theater. I felt like disheveled. I was like, all the hope I have in life right now. This is all I had. This is my crutch. This is my emotional crutch. This is all I needed was to see Frieza get that L from my boy Vegeta.
Man.
And guess who wound up taking the L? Vegeta!
Let's go! The spirit of Koyama is alive and well. He did it. He did it. Yo, Vegeta looked like a loser again. And he was supposed to be a winner. He's supposed to be equal in strength with this guy. And he still couldn't pull off a W. Tell me you did not see this coming. Tell me.
As much as I did, I didn't, bro.
The inner fan knows that Vegeta don't get these dubs. He don't.
I wanted to believe.
And you wanted to eat you had some of the Toei Kool-Aid.
I did. I drank it, bro. I drank it so heavy, bro. I was reading them damn Shonen Jump. I was like, okay, we getting it, boy. We getting it.
Oh man.
No.
Bro, I'm so I got away with niggas were on my head when I said I literally when this happened, everybody watching on Twitter, I'm like, yo, why y'all even mad? Vegeta really don't got no real animosity. He just died by the nigga on the planet.
Just died. No big deal.
He just died. Like, a lot's happened from then. It's like Vegeta ain't the type to hold a grudge. I was just being sarcastic. Oh man, they were on my neck. What the fuck you mean he's on your neck? Literally, this was a kill that he was supposed to get. And I'm saying, like, really? Vegeta really don't have a real issue with Frieza. If he really had a real issue with Frieza, he would have got super mad at Trunks for killing him at that time.
I mean, you're making points, but you think I want to hear that?
I know y'all Vegeta fans, y'all don't want to hear none of that. Y'all just tired of the same old formula that was being used. And I know y'all was pissed. But it made me happy. Goku stealing the joy out of everybody's. And I know a lot of people came in that theaters like, I'm here because Vegeta's getting the dub. I know somebody. I know a lot of y'all was in there like, man.
I was. Damn proud of it too.
Oh man. Oh y'all got screwed. When Frieza does that thing, bro, I said, because I watched this shit later on DVD. I watched this shit on DVD when the DVD came out. I paused the scene. I was just cracking the fuck up. Literally, I said, no way they really did that shit.
They did.
They did that shit.
They were proud of it too.
I said first, this is not something that Frieza wouldn't do. Like, Frieza would do this shit. I was just wondering why Frieza ain't do this shit when he was fighting Goku. But that doesn't make the plot. This does not make a DBZ. That does make trying to be critical, try to use your critical thinking skills on this. Well, you can't do that. You really can't. Frieza was just desperate, and he did what desperate niggas do. He pulled a desperate sham on Vegeta. Like, it's hilarious. On Vegeta, he ain't had to do that. I thought he would do it on Goku. But, if Goku gets embarrassed, Vegeta's gonna get embarrassed. Goku got shot by a ray gun. He got shot by a ray gun. My man
Yusuke.
Bro, he got embarrassed. So I'm like, okay, Vegeta's gonna get this shine or whatever. This is not the Dragon Ball I grew up with, but we in a new direction. It's like Goku was coming with a super Kamehameha and blew that nigga the fuck up and sent him right to hell with them Teletubby bears and shit. I know y'all was sick, but I enjoyed it. LOL, Goku wins. Oh man, I know y'all was heated. I know y'all were heated. But I know y'all had to be excited because you're like, yo, at least we're getting the anime. I know y'all like, at least we get the anime to watch. They didn't even again try to right that wrong. They didn't even say, hey, we're gonna make Vegeta beat any main villain in the anime. Like, it just shows you that these niggas don't give a fuck about what y'all think.
They didn't.
They don't.
And I've grown to be smarter since,
You gotta be. You gotta know what
but
you're doing.
I can definitely tell you when I was down bad in 2015, man,
I know you was hurt.
bro,
Dragon Ball failed you. Love failed you. Dragon Ball failed you. What is man?
what was there to live for, bro? I mean, thankfully, plenty, obviously, but
yeah. As far as
in that moment,
what you the things you love betrayed you.
life gave me this pair. You feel me?
Toriyama, somebody you big up, and for him to be proud and say, "Hey, this is my work." I know it was pain.
It was pain, dog.
But it's hilarious.
and what is also hilarious, man, is the fact that these boys just handed this out to us, knowing, hey, all right, look, see y'all in 3 months when we give you this shit again.
No, they replayed it back. They replayed it back. And then you said, you know what? And because at least did some tinkering around with the Battle of Gods. So I'm like, okay, they know how to do some tinkering with this shit.
Yeah.
That was my assumption. Maybe they make them do a duel, like maybe when they do the planet blow up thing, like maybe he talks to Vegeta and Goku together. That way Vegeta and Goku can do like a little blast together. You know what I'm saying? No. Like you said, no, Goku about to get this work from this little Kamehameha and blow that nigga up.
The first ever OVA that's a movie for real.
Oh yeah, this was an OVA for sure. Niggas can't tell you nothing. They showed this shit on them.
Theatrically released OVA.
Like literally. Niggas said, here you go. We keep in the spirit of the Toei Anime Fair, the DBZ section, alive and well with this one. You thought you was getting the Battle of Gods 2.0. You did not get that. This is definitely the weakest movie out of all of them. The new era.
Yeah. We're talking about the new era, definitely. The weakest entry, but I can't lie. Fun watch. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool.
Like, I could watch this once every 5 years and be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good movie. Battle of Gods, I could watch maybe once every 2 years.
I could rewatch that scene where Goku just blasts Mesa after they blow. I could watch that any day. Somebody show me that. Somebody send me that clip. I could watch it any day. It does a lot for me. I laugh. I like laughing when I watch Dragon Ball. And though it was not intended for comedy relief, that surely was a funny moment.
There was a lot of good comedy in it, though. I will give it that. That boy Jocko. Shouts out to Jocko, man.
He's the man. He is the man. Underrated character in the series.
Very underrated character.
Very good character. A lot of Toriyama's, like the characters that you don't really expect to have the limelight, they're really good, and he's one of them. He's super good. But yeah, that movie, that OVA, not going to movie just for the sake of it. That OVA, it was really good as an OVA, as a sequel to Battle of Gods, which was like one of the best things ever. No, very disappointing. The Super Saiyan with the stupid. I thought it was stupid.
The explanation for the original explanation for Super Saiyan Blue is so dumb. It's so dumb.
Dumb, bro.
So I'm a Super Saiyan guy, and I'm using Super Saiyan while I'm a Super Saiyan guy. Like, what?
That shit was stupid. Like, who are you fooling? That was dumb. Niggas, this just made me realize, like, yo, we got some merch to sell. That's about it.
Yes.
We got some new forms to sell.
Like, Dokkan Battle literally comes out, like, in internationally weeks after this movie. So, like, yes.
Like, we got some shit to sell. And that was the idea going forward. For me with Dragon Ball, I was like, okay, in this new Dragon Ball, I'm not expecting a different plot. I'm not expecting Tori or Toei's vision to change. I'm just expecting new characters and new forms because shit gotta be sold. We got that Xenoverse DLC.
Yes.
I spent my money on it.
Xenoverse. We wouldn't have had no Xenoverse if it wasn't for Battle of Gods and Resurrection.
That's for sure.
Because it literally came out later in 2015.
Literally. I remember playing Xenoverse and I saw the DLC movie. I was like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now I get it. Oh, this is what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make movies just so y'all can sell these motherfuckers in figurines, shirts, games, the whole works.
That's all it really was.
It works. I mean,
it's been largely successful.
That's what Super is. It's really just a ploy just to sell merch.
Yes.
That is what it is. I'm not gonna knock it. Like, what else can you really do with Dragon Ball?
Exactly. Because that's what this whole era starts. Is the new marketing era of Dragon Ball, a background to establish new stuff to market for the future when it comes to toys, games, merchandise, all of that, right?
You can't let one era die and not the other. Yeah. We gotta make as much money as possible out of these people's kids now. We got them as kids, now let's get their kids. and it works.
And they proved that with the Dragon Ball Super anime. It went on from 2015 all the way through 2018. And no sooner than, that series ended that summer of 2018, we got another announcement that we coming out with a new movie. And not only did they tell us we coming out with a new movie, they said that movie will be called PTSD. Dragon Ball Super PTSD. Broly.
Oh, God. I'll tell y'all how. Oh, God. Man.
Now, spoiler alert, we had way less of a reason to be worried after actually watching that. We'll talk about that next week. But leading up to it definitely gave some boys some heart palpitations.
I was scared. I did not know what I was going to do. This might have been the first DB's movie. I'll give y'all a spoiler. It took me a while to give it a watch. Just out of being afraid. Out of me being afraid.
And we'll definitely cover more of those fears and the hopes that eventually this movie gave to us by the end of it next week. But I will say I am excited to go into it next week as we go from Battle of Gods and Resurrection, movies that I can watch once every now and again, to honest to God, next week is an episode I've been looking forward to since before we announced this show. Because Dragon Ball Super Broly is a movie I could watch every fucking day.
Hell yeah.
And, as you can tell from the both of us, it's hard for us to even contain our excitement. We're saying things right now we should probably just not even say till next week.
We should be shutting up because we love you and we love the movie.
Yes.
Little taster.
Basically, this is the epilogue as we and the prologue for next week. Because godly, I cannot wait, D, for us to be able to cover Dragon Ball Super Broly next week. But until then, we really appreciate y'all joining us. Thanks as always for supporting the pod. You know what I'm saying? All love to the whole Lookout family. Look, hey, also as we sign out, man. Big Eyes podcast forever, man. Those guys, they just had their final episode. They are a pillar of the Lookout Network.
Mm-hmm.
Long live those boys, you know what I'm saying, over at Big Eyes, man.
Yes, sir. For sure. I'm be definitely tuned in for that final episode. Y'all better do the same, I'd hope.
Hell yeah. By this point, it has just come out, so if you haven't caught it yet, please feel free to check out LJ and AD's finale of the Big Eyes podcast.
It's gonna be worth it, yo. You know it is. It's always has been. So make sure y'all tune in.
But until then, y'all go ahead, y'all get caught up on in. Mm-hmm. We'll come back with y'all next week with more of that good. We love y'all. It's your boy Jay and D. We out.
We out of here. Jana.